one of the four Agile Lacey?
Sir? Yes, sir, I have.
I think he's already been arraigned.
You already been arraigned? All right, stay still then. I have a guy right here. Can you hear?
A little bit.
He can hear just a little bit. He's mostly deaf, sir.
What's the name?
Richard Davis. Richard Francis Davis. Davis.
Mr. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You have an attachment from a prior charge of theft over $2,500 but less than $10,000 in value. This is a prior charge that you should already be aware of. The court has issued an attachment due to a failure to appear in court. Your bail on the attachment is $1,500. I'm not asking whether you agree with this, but do you understand what this is about?
Not exactly, sir. Could you explain a little more detail about the theft thing?
You should have previously been arraigned on a theft charge. This is only the attachment for a failure to appear in court.
Okay, fair in court.
So
okay.
It's alleged that you missed a court date on a theft charge, and the court issued an attachment to have you arrested and brought before the court to answer why you weren't in court.
I was going to court.
I'm not asking you to do that now. I'm just letting you know why you're in custody.
Yes, sir.
Your bail is set at $1,500.
Yes, sir.
I need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about this charge. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. And you have the right to have a hearing on this charge where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether or not there is enough evidence for the charge to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, I do need a lawyer.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the answers you gave on this affidavit are true?
What?
That you filled out an affidavit regarding your income.
My income?
Yes, this affidavit, the piece of paper that you filled out. Do you swear or affirm that these answers are true?
Yes.
Thank you.
Baker 112 BZ.
I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. I'm waiving the administrative fee. And this case will be set Monday morning, the 15th of August in felony court. Good luck to you, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Go have a seat for me.
What is your name, sir?
Timothy Kirkpatrick.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, you have attachments on 2 prior charges. They are for shoplifting with a $1,500 appearance bond and simple possession, also with a $1,500 appearance bond. You have 2 new charges, possession of drug paraphernalia, an A misdemeanor, and criminal impersonation, a B misdemeanor. I'm not asking whether you agree with those charges, but do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
You need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about these charges. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. And you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on these charges where a judge will listen to evidence and determine whether or not there is probable cause for the charges to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yeah.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the answers you gave on this affidavit are true?
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Knox County?
My whole life.
Your bail on the new drug paraphernalia charge will be $500. You'll be R-ward on the impersonation charge. Your total bond, if my math is correct, then is $3,500. Looks like Attorney Clinton Frazier was already representing you on your prior charges. I'll appoint him to represent you on the new charges as well. Be waiving the administrative fee. Your cases will be set in misdemeanor court Monday morning the 15th. Good luck.
Okay. Can I get some water? Hang on.
What's your name, sir?
Brendan Dunaway.
Mr. Dunaway, you've been charged with aggravated assault, domestic, a C felony. I'm not asking whether you agree with the charge, but do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
You need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about this charge. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on this charge where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether or not there is probable cause for the charge to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? And you swear or affirm the answers you gave on this affidavit are true?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. 900 every 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived in Knoxville?
Well, I live in Strawberry Plain, sir,
How long have you lived there?
for about 2.5 years.
I'm appointing Attorney Mitch Harper to represent you. There will be a $50 administrative fee assessed by the 25th. If you cannot pay by then, don't worry. We'll add it to the court costs. Your bond is set at $10,000, subject to the following conditions of release regarding the alleged victim, Savannah Howard. You are prohibited from committing or threatening to commit the offense set forth in the arrest warrant against the alleged victim or any household member. You are prohibited from harassing, annoying, telephoning, contacting, or otherwise communicating with the alleged victim, either directly or indirectly, which would include, but not be limited to, telephoning, emailing, texting, speaking to, or using a third party to contact the alleged victim. Lastly, you must vacate and stay away from the home of the alleged victim and any other location where the alleged victim is likely to be. Lastly, you are prohibited from using or possessing a firearm while the case is pending. Your case will be set this Monday, the 15th, in felony court for a bond hearing. If you're unable to bond out before then, the judge will reconsider your bond on Monday. If you make bond over the weekend, that's fine. You'll be given a new court date. If you do, that will be out a few weeks. Good
All
luck.
right, thank you. That's all, sir.
Thank you.